Ow.
Getting tennis elbow.
How? It just hurt when I moved it. Ow. Ow.
Your Opinion Stinks opens the conversation on a hot-button business topic.
And flips it on its head.
Hosted by a wellness coach
and a business coach.
We break down conventional business
while building entrepreneurs up for success.
Who will you agree with?
Welcome to Your Opinion Stinks, coming to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tim. Thank you as always for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit the alert button. So when new episodes go up, you get the notification of that. iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there too. Subscribe and just have the episode download directly into your device. Yes. And don't forget to join the group. We're doing some really cool things in there. This is youropinionstinks.com /group.
/no uplift.
I will get this right. So let me do this again. Let me do this again.
Waited for my instructions.
Let me do this again. So it's youropinionstinks.com /uplift. UPLIFT.
Yay.
Yes. So it was a little rough start to get this intro in, but yeah, we're here, out of the studio.
Yeah, we're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And okay, in the tradition of us talking way too much about food.
Yeah.
This week's episode and next week's episode will also be about food, but also business. It's
yes,
okay. It's totally okay.
It's definitely connected.
It's connected. Yeah. So connected, you guys. Okay. Yeah. So,
yeah.
This first episode is about, even though we're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, chicken sandwiches.
Totally off the radar of what you would be talking about in Philly, but we're not going to leave you guys hanging because, we'll take care of you on that. But yes, chicken sandwiches.
We're talking about chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
So currently, all the rage is the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Which I had not one, not two, but 3 of them.
3.
So I consider myself a Popeyes chicken aficionado.
I have not had one. So those of you who are like me will need to rely on Timothy to tell us about the chicken sandwich. He's so proud of himself. It's so cute. Okay.
So upon coming to Pennsylvania, I ate everything except for Philly cheesesteaks because it just was hard to get to. But I lucked into what we're going to talk about, and it's just weird that it happened that way. But yeah, I was one of the fortunate ones to get it before the whole chicken run out situation, which has gone bananas. But yeah, we'll talk more about that.
So talk briefly about what makes this sandwich so good, because apparently everyone is gaga over these chicken sandwiches, and I'm like, well, how good can a chicken sandwich be?
So
it's a chicken sandwich. Like, I love the Wendy's chicken sandwich. That's like my favorite chicken sandwich. Mm-hmm. A close second is the Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
No pickle.
The thing that makes a Chick-fil-A sandwich really good is the batter and the way they fry it, so that way it has, all this flavor inside of the meat.
That's good. Yeah.
The Popeyes chicken sandwich is basically the same thing except with Popeye seasoning and Popeye breading. The bun is really buttery, which is really good.
Like they put butter on it and grill it, or
not
it just
sure.
tastes buttery?
Not sure. It tastes buttery.
Okay.
Like there's an airiness about the bun, so it doesn't feel as dense as a Chick-fil-A one.
Their bread's dense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pickles, which I'm not a big pickle person, but I'm kind of like growing into it, was actually pretty tasty.
Because you made no changes.
Yeah, I wanted to have it as is
Straight.
on both the original and the spicy, which I did on both of those. But when it comes down to the actual chicken, the chicken was thick.
Yeah.
It wasn't like some flattened patty or anything. It was like a big piece of meat. And chicken. The batter is their Popeyes chicken batter. So like that fried chicken batter that they use.
Yeah.
So it has that same kind of a crunch to it. It's not a heavy batter. And just whatever they did to season it all, it just comes together. It's a tad salty.
Oh, I like that.
But it's not salty to the point where it's like you're eating salt with a hint of chicken.
Yeah.
It's just it just has like this kind of salty
salty, savory, crunchy goodness.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to be an advocate for Popeyes and their chicken sandwich.
Popeyes not sponsored this episode.
No, but if you're listening, Popeyes, your chicken sandwich is pretty good. But no, it was good on all sides, on the regular mayo side, the spicy mayo side, and I even did it a different way. Shout out to Chico, where no pickle and honey, and it was so good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Yeah. So if I were to sum up why people were really raving about it, it's because they really developed a very tasty chicken sandwich. And it's at the point of it being something that can compete with a Chick-fil-A, which we'll talk about that.
Yeah, to that point, the development that you mentioned, that's part of what made us want to talk about it today and relate it to the entrepreneurship small business thing.
Yep.
Because that chicken sandwich didn't just come out of nowhere.
No.
They weren't just
even though it
hey,
felt
let's
like
make
it
a
did.
chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
It felt like it did to us.
Yeah.
But that we'll link to visit the show notes for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, episode 5. Check out the show notes, and there we'll link to a video of the CEO of Popeyes being interviewed.
Who is not
on
Shirley.
CNN.
She is not Shirley. And if you've been watching the memes, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my, okay.
It's a thing.
It's a thing?
It's a thing.
Oh, I'm late to the memes. I gotta catch up on the memes.
You got a lot of good
I've
stuff
only
out
seen
there.
a few of
The
them.
internet, you did a great job on this one. I just have to say that.
Good job, internet.
Yes. Hilarious stuff.
But, okay. So, and in it, he was talking about how this has been in development for a very long time.
Yeah, I think they said over 10 months, maybe like a year.
A year or
test
something.
kitchens.
And they've done a lot of testing. And then they started it out in a smaller market.
Yep.
And also painstakingly went through the process of figuring out the supply chain and making sure everyone had everything they needed.
Yep.
And then life and the internet hit and they sold out everywhere all the time.
Yes. I will add to this. Not trying to hunt down a chicken sandwich after I had the first initial 3 that I had. I lucked into 3 different Popeyes in 3 different locations, and all of them were sold out of these sandwiches. Had their little signs up. Oh, actually, shout out to Ron Douglas. He actually commented on my post with a sold out sign. That's a really good one.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just pandemonium for these chicken sandwiches.
Pandemonium for this chicken.
Boondocks. You predicted this to happen, so. Yeah, it's craziness, but it's some great business lessons in all of this.
Yeah, two I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
One is anytime you're going to launch a new product line, it takes a lot of planning.
Yeah.
Like not just the strategy of figuring out that it's something you want to do in the first place because you anticipate it being popular and attractive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But also figuring out how to deliver it, high quality, on time, considering the demand.
Yep.
All of that.
Which Popeyes completely underestimated. But we'll talk about that more as
Right.
we go along.
And then the other lesson I can think of is how to handle it if, even after all of your preparations, things don't go the way you planned them.
Yeah.
So maybe the lesson in that is take it with a light heart. Go on CNN to talk about it like
Sure, call up your CNN contact and get some airtime.
it was a fluke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like who knew?
But don't like pass the buck and get like, well, don't be mad at us because blah blah blah. Blah.
Yeah.
But just own up to it, make light of it, do what you can for your customers, and hope people come back, because apparently the buzz about this sandwich, despite people being agitated, seeing that sold out sign, they'll be back.
Yeah, they're not picketing outside of the Popeyes.
Although.
Well, we'll get to that.
You want to talk? What do you want to talk about next?
Actually, I wanted to get into these things before we.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What you got?
All right. So let's first go into the whole thing of product development,
Okay.
because I thought that was interesting in the video in the article. So looking at it as as an entrepreneur, we have the task of being problem solvers. And sometimes it's simple problems that we can solve, and we know the problems, inside and out. And there isn't really a lot of beta testing that we need to do, or research that we need to do, because we know the niche so well, we can anticipate the problems. There's the other side of the coin too, where sometimes you need to have that customer input in order to find the blind spots that you didn't anticipate in your product development process. And that's where surveying comes in. And we've even done surveys for products that we've released, just to not just be in tune to what customers need, but also to see the things that we take for granted. Like, for instance, in the latest survey that I conducted, I felt like people's education level was at like a mid-level, and so I needed to educate at a mid to high level. But what I ended up learning in the survey was that people were actually like in the lower part of it, and I needed to focus more here, because this is where they really were stuck. That if I were to hit them with something that was higher than where they were, then I'm lessening the opportunity for the sale, because I'm not really addressing what they really, really want. And that kind of lends into this, where, it's anything to just cut up a piece of chicken, put it on a bun, throw a couple of pickles on it, some mayo, and you call it a day.
All done.
Yeah, but in this video, in the article, the CEO goes into like detail, like it wasn't just, we just, threw the chicken in our original batter and called it a day. They went through iteration after iteration to figure out what would have the best probability of working. And the lesson in that as an entrepreneur is that we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes we have to go that extra mile to ask the people that we're trying to sell to, what is it you really want? For the chicken sandwich, it wasn't a matter of just putting out a product for people to consume. It was, we need to make sure that this is something that is tasty, something that we could deliver on. And I'm almost certain that they had to figure pricing into sourcing their food product and whatever the materials for the buns and the pickles and all that. And then they had to go into the test kitchens to develop a recipe that, again, another assumption, that fit economically, but also fit on the customer's taste buds. Because you have to have something that comes close to being, good and fun to eat. So you sell a bunch of them with a pricing that is like a no-brainer. Like the sandwiches are like $4. And that was a surprise for me, because I'm used to paying $6 at a Chick-fil-A just for the sandwich by itself.
It is that much?
I believe so. So we're talking about $2 less.
That pricing could also be regional.
I don't know. I'm just going to go with what I experienced.
Okay.
So we're talking about $2 less, what appeared to be more meat, and a different mouthfeel. And, you know, it was just like ready to go. So in all of that, what it tells me as an entrepreneur is when I'm coming up with a problem that I need to solve for someone else that I'm trying to make income for, that it really works out to go right to the source, the people that I would be selling to, whether I have a relationship with them or not, and ask the questions that go deeper than just, you have this problem, I'm going to solve it, this is how much it costs, da-da-da. It's more so, this is a problem, I'm going to solve it, but I need to know from you where you feel the bigger part of the problem is, and I focus on giving you what you want and fusing in what you need. And I think this is a really good part of this, of what Popeyes is doing, is because they're moving into a space that's been dominated pretty much by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And they're not new kids on the block. They've been in, you know, the food service industry. That's the business. Is that they introduced this new product into their line of products, and it's not like we said, just, you know, come out of nowhere. They spent time on it before they finally released it, and then once it was out, it's hard to say that they met and beat expectation.
Yeah.
It was more so they had a really nice hype train, and then once you got the product in hand, which is, you know, eating the sandwich, then it was like, oh man, this is actually really, really good.
And as an interesting aside, as you're saying that, I'm thinking of all of the side commercials from other people, like, hey, we have a chicken sandwich too. You guys, hey.
Yeah.
It's not just Chick-fil-A, like everybody's talking about their chicken all of a sudden.
Yeah.
IHOP is hyping their chicken.
Man,
and their
IHOP,
chickens,
oh, they're
like,
fighting.
chicken nuggets. They're leaning hard into their chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles, yes.
With their chicken nuggets.
Oh man.
As chicken and waffles.
It's not
like,
it's
come
not
on.
even competition in this. Like, I understand they want to steal some attention.
Yeah.
I hate to be that person that says, you know, stick to pancakes, because they already smacked us in the face with stick to pancakes.
We've talked a lot about the IHOP pancakes.
Yeah, so we'll let that dog lie.
But man, this is one of those times I really wish I could see the numbers, because like it's likely that all these other chains took a real hit to their chicken sandwich.
I imagine Chick-fil-A took a huge hit.
So when you put out the commercial, like, hey, come on back. Aren't you tired of seeing those sold out signs? Come back to our chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Do they rebound right away? Is it just kind of they're trying to ride the storm and eventually people will come back? Like, what is that? What are those boardroom discussions like?
Yeah.
I wish we could pull back
that
the
would
curtain.
be so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it has me thinking
Probably
about
rebounds over time, because I could see this being a fad.
Well, that's what actually where I was leaning into, because it immediately made me think of KFC when they released their grilled chicken, and how that was like
That was the hot
crazy
thing
for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then once people got used to it, we didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to have a shelf life as anything else that's new. People are going to be excited about it, and then we'll get used to it, and it'll be just end up being a flavor of the month.
Yeah.
But it's all about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. And the second point that you had.
talked about how to respond if the rollout doesn't go as planned.
Yeah. So this I haven't paid much attention to because it's still kind of fresh.
It is fresh. We're sort of in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it seems, I don't know this for sure, but just looking at all of the online pictures and things, and from what you said, it seems like Popeyes distributed to all its people this sign that kind of makes light of it. Like, I can't remember what it says. Like, oops,
Coming
we're
back
out.
soon or
Or
something
coming
like
back
that.
soon.
Yeah.
Or and it looks official, and it's like, we're sorry, but it'll be back. Please don't leave us home again. It
Yeah.
looked like the official, like, just put this up. It'll be okay. We're sorry.
Now, I will say, just to add to that, I think the urgency of them running out of chicken sandwiches, some of them took initiative and made handwritten signs and all
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And
You go ahead.
there's the man who sued
Let's get into that.
Popeyes.
Yes. You want
Which I
to
still
set
don't
it up?
understand.
We'll talk it through. We'll talk it
We'll
through.
link to this story.
Yeah.
But apparently a man is suing Popeyes. In Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because he wanted the sandwich. He went to go get the sandwich.
Yes.
They did not have they were sold out of the sandwich.
Yes.
This man then happened upon a Craigslist listing.
Yes, that's correct.
And on Craigslist, this person was like, "Hey, y'all, I work at Popeyes. They holding out on y'all. It's hype, man. I got a stash secret stash of these chicken sandwiches. Holla at your boy." So
That's the signature at the bottom. Holla at your boy.
Please contact holla at your boy at hotmail.com. So
Check out my IG. Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy.
Chicken sandwich.
So then the man was like, "Oh man, a stash of chicken sandwiches."
Yeah.
And he went to go meet this person for the chicken sandwich.
Yes.
But his car broke down.
Didn't break down. It suffered damage
It suffered damage,
to the tires
critical
and hubs.
damage on the way to the Popeyes
and
hookup.
and sequential Popeyes trying to find the sandwiches.
And then by the time he got there, I don't know how that happened when he suffered the damage, but I guess he figured it out. He gets there, and it turns out it's his friends who pranked him and are laughing at him, and he is now traumatized.
Something like
Is
that.
that what it is? It's just
that
so
that part
weird.
that part of the story, it gets a little hard to follow.
I'm like, why are you suing Popeyes about? First of all,
right.
suing someone is ridiculous. Second of all, suing Popeyes?
Okay.
It's not Popeyes' fault.
It's about the emotional.
I don't get distress.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Okay, so you watch Seinfeld.
I do watch Seinfeld.
And there's an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer has a cup of
the coffee.
yeah,
And he sneaks the coffee
into a movie
into
theater
the movie theater
and spills the coffee on himself
spills the coffee.
and burns himself.
Yes.
And Jackie, who's his lawyer,
Right.
it helps him to sue the coffee company.
Did he
Because-
sue the movie theater?
No, the coffee company.
The coffee.
Yeah, 'cause that's-
right, because
yeah.
he got it at the coffee.
Yeah.
He smuggled in the
Yes.
coffee to
Yeah.
the movie theater.
And
yes.
sue because the coffee was hot.
It's like a Starbucks kind of place.
Yes.
But the coffee was too hot.
Yes.
And did they put on the lid or did you put on the lid? They put on the lid?
So, using that as the framework of this discussion,
Okay.
the whole thing of
But
hold on. The coffee was relocated out of the coffee shop. He
This
took the
doesn't
coffee. No, it does. He took the coffee and took it somewhere else and spilled it on himself. The whole thing of the product was made and supposedly it was too hot, even though it has nothing to do with the company. The person who made it,
No.
and he also used it improperly. Whatever. He went and sued the company for negligence.
this doesn't work because the only way that works is if Tennessee man. No, it doesn't even apply. No, okay.
No.
The only way
how
this
it works.
works. The only way this works is if Kramer had bought the coffee from the movie theater.
No.
He
Who
didn't buy the coffee
who did they
from a
sue?
dude outside
No.
of the Starbucks.
No, here's the thing.
place.
Here's the thing. This is where it connects. The whole thing is he was distressed from the product, regardless of where he got it from and regardless of where the action happened, which was in the movie theater.
But the people
For
never
the-
had the chicken sandwich.
For the guy with the chicken sandwich, he was distressed because he was told that at a certain location he can get this thing, which is completely sold out in most places. That's the first part.
That was part of his issue.
Yeah.
That it sold out in the first place,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
The whole thing of him having to go to multiple locations and have rim damage and tire damage.
All right. So you're saying he's suing Popeyes because had they had the chicken sandwich, all these other things
would have not happened. He wouldn't have been stressed. He wouldn't have had any damage to his vehicle, and he wouldn't have been embarrassed.
So it relates to Seinfeld because had the movie theater allowed outside food and drink, he would not have spilled the coffee on himself.
That's one way of looking at it.
Wait, no, then he'd be suing the theater.
That's not,
it still doesn't work.
No, the way it is if the coffee was at a temperature that was better for consumption, he wouldn't have burned himself regardless of if he spilled it on himself. But because it was too hot.
Yes. It was too hot.
Yeah.
And the faulty lid.
Yes. Things that had nothing really to do with the company, but you sue the company. That's what this dude is going through. It's ridiculous, mind you.
Okay, well.
But here's the thing. Here's how we can get a business lesson out of it.
What's the business lesson? Because I feel badly that Popeyes has to deal with these shenanigans because
it's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
I mean, dude in Tennessee, if this ever gets to you, maybe there's some sort of aspect of this story that I'm not understanding, and it's all been sensationalized in the media. I understand that happens, so I'm not giving you a hard time.
Yeah, you're going through what you're going through.
To your trauma. Please do not sue us.
Yeah, don't come after us.
I'm just saying, dude, maybe you should be a little less serious about this chicken sandwich.
I'm gonna go a different route on this.
Maybe calm down a little bit about the chicken sandwich.
It's more so I can understand being stressed out because life comes at you fast, and yes, people can be extremely distressed, especially if they feel like they've been duped, taken advantage of, or in your case, being embarrassed.
Yes. I have more compassion.
So in all of that, sorry it happened to you. It sucks.
It sucks. I'm sorry, Tennessee man.
Here's where the business lesson comes in, at least for me in this. It's kind of the situation of managing expectation. And when you get to the point of things being so big that either you need to go really big to try to manage it, or you need to go really fast in order to mitigate it. Like the whole thing of, this goes back to the video in the article, the whole thing of them having expectations of what can sell, how fast it can sell, and being able to keep it in stock or in demand. They could not anticipate the power of the internet. They could not anticipate the ferocity of people buying. And this is kind of something that I learned, again, shout out to Chico for this. Their location has it in stock, the food, but they're limiting people between a certain amount of hours, 11 to 1.
That's right.
And they can only buy one.
One per customer.
They're managing expectations. So
should any time you come out with something like this, any new thing, is it maybe a best practice or a safe thing to do, if there's any doubt, to say while supplies last?
I think that's definitely
because
helpful.
I feel like that might have mitigated some of this. Like, while supplies last, you better get it. We don't know how long we're gonna keep it on the menu.
No, let me throw this at you then. So you bring up an interesting point. Like in the internet marketing world, and some places in other business niches and all that type of stuff, most of that is a scarcity thing.
Yes.
It's the whole thing of applying scarcity so that way
there's plenty
you
of
can
it.
increase demand.
But you're like, only for 5 more minutes.
Yeah. And then you reset the timer again.
Like, we think you're a different person. Only for 5 more minutes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So in doing something like that, I would take into consideration that Popeyes, their marketing team, their research team, all that type of stuff, would have seen the popularity or the hype machine coming prior to selling. But in the article and the video, the CEO openly says, like, we didn't know that this was going to happen.
Unless it's
and the
part
reporter, I don't know.
Probably not.
And the
though.
reporter asks, you know, like, why didn't you guys anticipate
is this rare? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, it came out of nowhere. We didn't.
Yeah. So,
And everybody's saying to me they didn't expect it either.
so does that then open up the situation of you have something all of a sudden it's popular now? How do you manage
Yeah.
this
Beast.
this monster, you know? And I'm not so sure that there's an easy way to answer it because we've
Probably not.
seen some products during our lifetime at least to go completely skyrocket and the company just could not really
Like how
anticipate.
people went crazy over that Szechuan sauce.
Yeah,
Rick and
because of Rick and
Morty.
Morty. Yeah, it revived it, and now we don't see any of it anywhere because even some people who have been able to find it was like, this isn't anything that special.
Yeah, it was hot for a minute.
Yeah,
People were mad.
yeah.
Maybe there was a
The
lawsuit.
Mulan
Maybe it's
sauce.
the
Yeah.
same Tennessee guy who was just
Oh, leave him alone.
traumatized.
Leave him alone. I
From
thought
the
you were the
Szechuan
wellness person. You
sauce.
just beating him up.
I know. I'm sorry.
Gosh, I'm being more compassionate to this person, and I'm the business guy. In any
I'm
instance,
sorry, Tennessee man. I couldn't resist.
is this your Florida man?
Yeah, Florida
So
man.
now you
Tennessee
just yeah
man.
okay all right. So I understand. All right. So overall, there's a lot in this whole thing, and I think as entrepreneurs, we can really look at it as, you know, we're in the business of making opportunities and being problem solvers. What happens when we're successful?
Yeah.
And how do we keep our newfound customers happy?
Yeah.
How do we keep our existing customers with us? And how do we keep the excitement not too high,
Yeah.
but high enough that the machine doesn't halt? Like right now, the machine has halted.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go to any Popeyes right now, you're seeing a sign.
Or you better get there, like he said, like
11
in the
to 1.
morning. No, in the morning, like the CEO said, people are lining up before it even
Yeah.
opens.
Oh, that was an interesting part
Like
of it
cronuts.
too. Well, like cronuts. Yes. He was saying that in one state they got shut down.
Oh yeah, they shut them down because the the city or the municipality or something was like
Yeah.
being a nuisance.
Yeah.
Because everyone was just lined up, traffic, trying to get this chicken. It's a chicken sandwich. I need to have this chicken sandwich.
No lie. When I went the night that
You really
I got
liked
it, I was in line in my car and I was in a drive-thru for 40 minutes. I had people who were circling our circle, like forced me to wind down my window and was like, one person passed me and was like, "Are you in line for the chicken sandwich?" I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Okay." And he got in line with his car. Then there was another person, she like actually like was like, "Wind down your window." And she's like, "What are you in line for?" It's like the chicken sandwich. She's like, "Did they tell you it's sold out?" It's like, "Nope." So she's like, "Okay, I'll wait."
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she was gonna say it's totally sold out, bro, and just to get you to leave.
Oh,
And
no,
then-
nah. She was
she
cool
hops
about
in
it.
the car with the dude who asked you in the first place.
No, but then after I got my order in, I actually caught up with her while she was still on the outside of the line.
Yeah.
And I wound down my window and I was like, "They took my order. I think they still have them." So she was like, "All right, great."
You know what they need? They need a chicken sandwich meter in front of the.
Or like a parking lot, they have like a countdown number thing or something.
Oh, countdown works. A red, green, yellow light works. You just a stop sign. It's like green. There's plenty of chicken sandwiches. Yellow, we're running low on the chicken sandwich. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh man, so this is like a threat alert.
Like, yeah. Oh no, not that serious.
I got you.
But yes.
Okay. So I want to throw some emotional things at it because this goes back to Tennessee, man.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Tennessee.
So the whole thing of him suing was, him experiencing distress.
Sure.
So as business owners and entrepreneurs, what do you feel are measures that we can institute or implement to try to work with people so they feel less distress and we still can serve them at a high level?
Well, I'd say it's not necessarily a company's job to make 100% of people happy.
Absolutely.
Because that's, one, impossible, and two, yeah, it's just impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking through, like, is there anything I would want to see Popeyes do for Tennessee Man? And I feel like
give him his $5,000
because then
like he could repair his rims.
No, because they kind of can't. Because if he is suing them, then aren't you like tampering or something by trying to do something then?
I don't know about that.
Or are
What do
they
you
just
mean?
going to try to settle? Maybe in that case, maybe you try to settle with them. Like, okay, I get that this was really distressing for you, and you force them to go through litigation or mitigation.
Litigation. I think it's litigation.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Force them to go through a process where, you're sitting on the sides of the table. I don't know, that's how they do it on TV. And, and you have your representation. Oh, it said he's representing himself, which does not help the case.
He's going to
think
people's court.
That's part of why I was kind of dismissing this, because
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem
even
with
have a
representing.
lawyer.
He doesn't need one.
Maybe he's a lawyer.
All he needs to do is walk into the courtroom with a rim, one rim.
One rib.
And
Sir, how do I know that's your rim? I can show you. I swear, I got a picture in my car.
That's it. One rim, one tire.
Okay, back to your question.
Yes.
I don't know. I think a company does need to take into consideration how the emotional experience of my client or customer.
Yeah.
Because the better that is, just at a fundamental level, the better that is, the more warm fuzzies that get left with that client or customer, the more likely it is, just generally speaking, that they're going to come back.
Yeah.
They're going to refer this thing to their friends.
Yeah, the word of mouth marketing will go up. Yeah.
But, so, in so much as that is a basic marketing fundamental, like, keep them happy, because otherwise, that's why we see in social media, like, I hate this. And then the company's like, oh, come on, call us. Let me help you.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
ChickfilA, you're doing a great job on social. We read some posts, and
about
it was
the
pretty,
Chick-fil-A Popeyes beef.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to
And
see
somebody
Chick-fil-A's
complained,
response.
They never take the pickles off my sandwich. And then Chick-fil-A was like, oh, that's no fun. Why don't you give us a call or fill out this online form? I wonder if they did it. And what do you get? Like
a chicken sandwich.
A free chicken sandwich?
You get a coupon to go to Popeye.
More pickles on their sandwich. Oh, no, they said so we can route it to the people. So basically we can reprimand that particular
let's go to that one. You're getting a strike.
Yeah.
Slap them on the wrist. On their hand.
I'm trying to think of what did they get? Like one
Watch it.
One moo. One, because their thing is the cows.
So the strikes and moves. 3 moves, you're out.
3 moves, you're on probation.
Oh. Your location doesn't get the burritos anymore. You're sold out for a week. No chicken biscuits for you.
No chicken biscuits for you.
Oh, punishment. That's a shame. So it's not their job to manage expectation.
It's not. Well, you do have a responsibility to manage expectations as much as you can, but you don't. A company's not in charge of me. Like, if I'm determined to be unhappy, or call up and crank just to see if I can get a coupon, like, what's a company going to do about that? They're just a crank.
Yeah.
Calling into all the products.
I can dig it.
Can get some coupons in the mail.
Well, Tennessee Man, I wish you all the best in your pursuits.
Do too.
Because I understand, wanting to have something and you didn't get it.
I think part of what frustrates me is that impulse that we have particularly in America. Like, I've been aggrieved. Sue. It's just immediately.
It's super quick.
That's the knee-jerk reaction to
Yeah.
sue someone, and it's just
It's craziness.
maybe not.
So, do you feel like there's any other points that I might have overlooked that are like lessons from this Popeyes Chick-fil-A rivalry? Oh, I'll throw this out there. Competition is good. Because if it wasn't for Popeyes jumping into the chicken sandwich arena, we wouldn't have this whole tasty battle. And I think everybody wins.
Tasty battle.
Yeah.
Hashtag tasty battle. I like that.
So yeah. I think the lesson in that is don't be afraid to come out with a product or service that's competing with someone else, because your unique solution might be the difference between people feeling better or avoiding pain or whatever.
Just because someone was first doesn't mean there's no place for you in that. It doesn't mean you can't have a share of that market.
Exactly. Yeah, there's many companies out there that make cheese. So you can just be another cheesemaker.
More about food.
Yeah.
I was about to go into a rant about cheese, but I won't.
We're basically hungry. That's what all this is coming down to. No, so yeah.
I think that's it.
Cool. I have to say, I'm really loving this whole thing, because as an entrepreneur, as a mentor, a speaker, this just gives me more fuel for the fire of things that just are just life lessons for business.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing to watch, because we're seeing the human condition and the human condition in the process of consumerism.
Yeah.
So, we're it's a great learning, situation all around.
And it's fun to watch.
It is incredibly fun to watch. Especially being in the lines and seeing people disappointed. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, it's just, again, the human condition.
Like chicken sandwich? No, so. Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, in the malls it was crazy.
Devastation.
Oh, it was so crazy. All right, but yeah.
All right. Take us home, Tim.
All right. So again, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that alert button and watch for new episodes coming. And as you see, we don't stop no matter if we're on travel or not. So new episodes are coming. If you listen to the show, iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe and have that auto download, so that way you can just have it go directly to your device. And of course, join the group where not just you getting this show content, but all the other good stuff that we're doing in the group. It's a great community for you and your business. youropinionstinks.com/uplift to join the group, totally free, our way of saying thank you for being a part of this whole process of spreading business across the globe. Yes. I am Tim.
I'm Tanisha, and remember, opinions are not facts. Do your research and have fun in the fight, and be patient for the chicken sandwich.
That's so mean.
That wasn't a Tennessee man comment. That was just, let's have some more patience for the chicken.
And I'm going to take off my virtual headphones like I do in every episode, so.